Today, we're looking at the Garmin Varia RTL 510 rear bike light radar. First up, what this device is and what this device does. It is obviously a rear bike light. It's also a car detecting radar. So it'll tell you if there's something approaching from behind and how fast it's coming at you. That's pretty cool. This unit is the updated version of the original Varias, which is around 3 years old now. And what happens when engineers get behind naming things? Well, they call it something like out of Star Wars, the RTL 510. This is effectively, for me, version 2. I have purchased the bundle device, which comes with both the light/radar and the handlebar display unit, because I'll be using this with not just Garmin head units, which is the only things it supports at the moment. In Australia, the bundle for both is $448 without the front handlebar mount alerting device, and just the light itself with the radar, it's around $300 Australian. We'll dive into the other pricing later on. I did go with the bundle unit for now because I do use other head units which don't have ANT+ radar or light support, such as the Element or Element Bolt. There's nothing stopping these units from having it, just the implementation within software. I think the lights on the side of the Element here and across the top of the Bolt would be a really handy implementation for showing when cars are coming. Speaking of connectivity, the Garmin Varia connects as a light and a radar service to your Garmin Edge. That's what we'll be looking at today. As this is my first dive into this kind of technology, I'm going to set some expectations early on of what I hope to achieve with this unit. So first up, why did I buy it? A lot of my rides are solo, long, straight, open roads, and whilst there's enough room to share the road, it's still going to be really handy to be more informed about the environment that I'm in. If, for example, it's a very windy day, a lot of the times you just won't hear the traffic until it's almost on you. With this device, I hope to be alerted well before it's on top of me, so to speak. Much like the rear parking sensors and the eyesight technology we have in the car, hopefully this brings that tech out on the bike with me. Oh, and out of the box, it has to work with an aero seat post because that's what my bikes have. Let's get into it. Okay, into the box itself. Well, there's a lot going on here. Alrighty, let's get that one out of the way. We have, well, first up we have the manuals. We have USB, micro USB cable, so it does require, micro USB cable, it would be really good for things to standardize on USB-C, but micro USB for now. It appears we have a second micro USB, so rather than standardize, they've doubled up on, okay. Not quite sure why we need two of those. Here is part of the bundle itself, so that's the head unit, effectively. So standard Garmin mount. I guess this is why we have two micro USB chargers, but here's what it is. So that's that unit. All the mounting kit. Now here's the rear mounts for the bike, and I think we are in luck with the shape of, not Ed Sheeran, the shape of you, the shape of the seat post mount here. That will support an aero seat post. So we have round support there, aero support there. So that's a big win. Straight away we have aero seat post mount support. Happy days. Okay, well that aside, and onto the unit itself. It's actually smaller than I thought. Let's have a look at this. That is slicker and smaller. So it has that slimmer profile. I guess it'd be a little bit more aero if you're worried about aerodynamics at the back of your bike, but there's the unit itself. Quite schmick. Okay, let's get this installed now and paired to the 820. One button for on. Turn this on. Okay, close up of this. So we want up here settings, sensors, add sensor. We'll go search all for now. Okay, so it's found the radar. We'll add that. There we go. Now we have some information displayed here on the screen. It pops up already with a little alert at the top there and just some information about what's going on here. I guess some lawyer text here about what's out in the road, death, injury, etc., and alertness. Okay, let's go with that. But now that's changed everything. So now we have the little alerts down the side here on the 820. We have a little, I guess, little Wi-Fi icon in the top right-hand corner indicating what's going on. Now, can we add a light sensor to this? But there's a trick to it, because you don't want your friends to add this as a light and turn it on and off for you remotely. So there is a trick. There we go. Right, so press and hold on. I'm not quite sure of the specifics there, but it's press and hold and then you pair. Again, as a bit of added security so nobody else can just connect over ANT+ to that. So that's blinding me at the moment. Let's flip that away. Forming light network, okay. Good job, I'll let that do its thing. But options in here for the radar itself, so you can rename it, sensor details, remove. So let's go to sensor details. Alert settings, color overlay on or off. Pretty much want everything default on. Obviously vehicles on left or right. Left or right, you can see it switch sides there. I'll probably go for right because that's the side they're going to be coming on for me. Bit of the old 820 touchscreen happening there. Okay. And we're good. So we're on, and now that stays on for all pages. You can see there. Light is on and it's beeping away. Hopefully it's not going to keep blipping like that all the time, or it might be detecting things that aren't quite there, but it is chirping away at me. Let's see what happens when we turn this off. Okay, it's flashing red and white up here without the indication. Radar disconnected. Cool, so when it's not on and not connected, it's off the screen here. Pretty simple. Now, next question is I have 935. Adding the radar to the 935, just out of interest, hey? Whoa, done. So the radar is supported by the watch, but today I'm just going to be using it with the 820. And just out of interest's sake, I'm going to turn the supplied remote on, which is quite nice and bright. Hopefully that'll pair to that quite easily. Let's have a look. Yep, easy as that. So that's already paired to that and that. That'll go on the handlebars when I'm using something like that for now. And the very last thing I'll do before I install it on the bike is check the firmware for the unit using Garmin Express on the Mac. So we'll get that plugged in. We'll add a device. Hopefully it comes up brilliant. It does indeed. Add device. Register, okay. Offers and promotions, I'm good. I think I'm already on that list anyway. Add a nickname. Lama Varia. It's definitely not my GPS or Mom's Navigator. Next, data collection. Yeah, sure, you can have that, Garmin. You're up to date, just checked, fantastic. So off the shelf, it came with the latest firmware. What else, other options do we have here? Not a lot. Anyway, that's now registered. It is fully up to date as of today's date with 3.20 firmware. Now it's time to get this thing on the bike. Okay, onto the installation. The manual itself states that the unit can't be too low, so you can't put it down here because the radar will interfere, or the back tyre will interfere with the radar. It needs to be up high enough for, it's an unspecified amount of clearance, but we're going to go for about there. So I need to put the mount about halfway up the seat post. I do have the Aero seat post mount, so that's going to fit here just nicely. I think about there will do. It's not going anywhere, it's nice and tight. Clip that on. That's good to go. There's a bit of up and down movement there, but I'm sure out in the road it's not going to get any more knocked around than that. So enough clearance here. With my saddlebag on, I'm going to use a camera on the back today, so that shouldn't get in the way. That's good to go. Up the front, for the little mount that I'll be using on the second half of the ride, it's just a standard Garmin mount on the stem there. It's quite small. Clips in, away we go. I'm less than a mile from home, 1.6 kilometers. This thing is phenomenal. It has exceeded all expectations in the first few minutes of use. I mean, this road here is a perfect use case for it. Long, straight, open roads, cars going pretty quick. It picked up single cars, multiple cars, and also a motorcyclist well in advance. This thing is an absolute gem. Why I haven't used one of these sooner, I don't know. All right, let's get the rest of this ride done. I'm only just beginning. So motorcycle test. And car behind. Another car, there we go. And clear. That is phenomenal. I know it's not new technology, but it's new technology on my bike. I'm loving it. All right, more riding to be done. Let's go. So 10 minutes in, this thing hasn't popped. There we go, bang. One car, two cars. It hasn't popped up a false positive yet. Oh, glass. And green clear. Keep it honest. Spot on. Seems to do exactly what they said it would do. So I will be honest and say there's a lot of technology out there that I look at, and it lets me down. It's a bit of a, is that really all it does? The marketing hype is way, way above what it actually does. So after 20 kilometers, 33 minutes, yeah, it's a nice tailwind. I'm absolutely blown away by this technology. So I've had 0 false positives. It's detected multiple cars, that motorbike. I still find myself looking behind to see what's coming. And there's one car, and there it goes, and green clear. How accurate was that? Another one now, coming at fast speed, another one behind it, goes past me now. It's a 100 kilometer zone just here, and green clear. That is pretty cool. So that's using the Edge 820 as the head unit. Now going back into town, another car, red, going fast, and clear. So going back into town now, it's going to be a headwind for 10 kilometers. I'm going to turn the separate head unit on to the standalone unit, so to have the experience that I'd have if there was a car fast moving, and I can hear it now because I can hear them coming. But coming at another car. So I'm going to use the other head unit going back into town. So this is the experience that you'd have if you're using the dual setup. So a non-compatible GPS plus the separate mount from Garmin itself. So I'll be able to run both at the same time because it's Ant Plus. It can connect to multiple devices. I'm keen to see how this goes. let's get this headwind section done. It's clear, I knew that. Two cars. And green for go. This is unbelievably cool. So I'm now back in town around the lake here in Ballarat. I suspect this little beeper is going to be busier than a kangaroo at a trampoline factory, but we'll see how it goes in town. I suspect what's going to happen here is it's going to get too noisy, and I'll just have to assume there's always going to be cars back, and I'll probably switch it off. There's one. And I've gone around the corner, it's disappeared, and it's picked it up again now. Two cars. So after an hour and a half of riding around with this thing, I'm still fascinated by it. And it's picked up a car just now. Another one coming. So typically out on the road, my anxiety levels riding by myself, depending on the day and the conditions, usually about 6 out of 10 maybe, sometimes 7 out of 10, because what you can't see and what you can't hear, you can't act on. And those things back there, it's kind of handy to know when they're there. So having this little thing pop up, you can see them, you can act on it, and that gives you a ton more information to be safer and to have, well, less anxiety out in the road. So for me today, that's down to about 4. I was so much more relaxed, knowing there's cars there, knowing when I'm coming up to a pinch in the road, and knowing right now there's another car behind that one. Yeah, there we go. Knowing that when there's a pinch in the road and I had to come out, I could step out. I'll still do the head check for very dangerous situations or very tight situations, but knowing there's most likely not going to be a car there when I do a head check, that is so good, so good. See, just then, I didn't even need to, but out of habit. And that habit won't die, because batteries don't last forever, and I won't always be on a bike like this one with this head unit and the radar behind, but good tech. Very good tech. Another car. So after 50 Ks and 90 minutes of riding, I think the unit's going to be pretty quiet riding through here, but that's 10 out of 10 from what I've experienced today. Lower anxiety, I felt safer out on the road, no false positives. It was just a little piece of tech that has jumped up and surprised me. Not new tech, but new to me. And if you haven't seen it before, you got to check it out for sure. So after this ride, there's one more thing I need to do before we start the wrap up of this video. Let's get to it. So in the door from the ride, the first thing I'm going to do here is order Veronica one of these units. My go-to is Pushies, who don't have stock. Bike Bug, listed as early June, no stock. Johnny Appleseed, 18th of June. Last try will be over here at Wiggle, and they do say hurry, low stock. I'm going to trust that Wiggle have them in stock. I suspect they probably don't, but I'm going to order here from Wiggle because I want one ASAP for Veronica's bike. Let's get this done. Okay, order now in. Let's hope that arrives nice and quick. Well, there we are, the A to Z of the Varia RTL rear tail light radar combo. The unboxing, the installation and setup, the ride, but more importantly, the ride experience and how that changed out on the road for me today. I was really taken aback by how much this little device can enhance the ride. I do admit these big open roads outdoors here are perfect for a device like this. If you're riding around town where cars passing is just accepted and expected, then this may not be the one for you. I have read quite a number of forums about these units, and the triathlete market, especially over on Slow Twitch, absolutely love these devices, and I think I know why. If you're out there on a TT bike and you're down in the TT bars, training hard in the zone, one of these little things in the little head unit is just going to tap you on the shoulder and let you know there's somebody else coming along to share the road with. That is super important, and I would have loved one of these when I was out there training hard for TTs. So 2 reasons why this unit is a must-have for me. Well, first of all, it changed my riding experience for the better, and I can't say that about a lot of tech. Very handy on big, long, open roads, but I can only imagine how handy this is going to be on mountain passes where you're riding a lot slower than the cars coming behind you. That's going to be really handy in that scenario. And secondly, it's complex technology simplified. So there's a lot of stuff packed in here and a lot of stuff going on. But to get it to work and to install it on the bike, I took off my current light and put this one on. It's as simple as that. It integrated with the head unit that I had, the 820, and away I went. And it changed the riding experience. So it doesn't get any better than that. It's technology, it's easy, it enhances the experience. Price-wise, it's not that cheap. US, $300 for the bundle, $200 for just the light itself. UK pounds, you're looking at $260 for the combo and £170 for the unit alone. Euros, I'm not quite sure about, I couldn't find those online, but Aussie dollars for the bundle, $450 for what I had, and $300 for the extra unit that I've ordered for Veronica today. That is assuming you can find stock. These are still relatively new and they are flying off the shelves, well, for obvious reasons. As always, links below so you can dive more into details about this unit, especially DC Rainmaker's deep dive into his experience with this. And a final thing I'll ask is if you know somebody who's into cycling, your wife, your husband, your partner, your kids, your friends, and they don't know about this, please let them know. Share this video to them, show them what's out there, and it's not such a bad place out on the roads, and especially using technology like this, it helps everyone get along. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.